What's up, guys? How's it going? It's a late night here at the gym, and taking a couple laps around, and something on my head all day that I'm thinking about was just in terms of like doing the hard stuff, because this is I want to say it's a gap for a lot of people. It's a gap for this generation. Doing the hard stuff can be basically is this. Whatever is the most difficult thing that you need to do right now, that's the thing that's the hard stuff that you need to do. So like, you're like, okay, I need to, like, I'll use personal training because that is the thing that we talked about. But like, the hard stuff is prospecting in the The hard stuff is talking to the random person, pushing yourself to talk to the random person. The hard stuff is calling that phone number that you don't remember. The hard stuff is late about people. Like, this is the hard stuff that you need to do. And as trainers, we have to do yoga. We have to get used to it. We have to focus on it. And on a daily, consistent basis, you have to find yourself doing the hard stuff. So I know it's hard, and I know it's one of those things where it's like, it's easier to do the easy stuff. But what's the easy stuff? Not talking to people. The easy stuff is not prospecting. The easy stuff is not posting on social media. The easy stuff is whatever it is. But it's also the stuff that's going to keep you where you're at. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're sick and tired of being where you're at, then you're gonna need to do the hard stuff. You're gonna need to post. You're gonna need to put a to-do list. So like, here's some actionable steps you can take. Something I do on a regular daily basis. I get in, here's my habit. I get in, I have a pen and paper on my desk, and I have a book. And it's a lined book, and I write down my goals. I write all my goals. 10 goals that I have, and I write every single one of them every single day. I don't go backwards and look and see what goal that I have. I make sure, okay, this is what I have today. This is what I have tomorrow. Like, I say the same thing. So I can tell you already what my goals are. I have, every day it's always the same. F1 excellence. Number 2 is top 5 in sales. Number 3 is TEDx speaker. So TEDx speaker. Number 4 is double my income. Number 5 is book 4 keynote speeches. Number 6 is CanFit Pro speaker. Number 7 is take my family on two family vacations. Number 8 is buy a new house. Number 9 is do 4 sales courses. And number 10 is drop my body fat down. So I just gave you 10 goals. And I have it memorized because of the fact that it's pretty similar every single day. I don't go backwards and look at it. But, so here's the thing. When you write your goals down, you're 80% more likely to achieve your results just by writing your goals down. But also what happens is, subconsciously, you're going to start doing things that are going to be based off your goals. So like, if I want to be F1 excellence, it's one thing to write down the goal. It's the action is also going to be something we need to do on a daily basis. So the first step for me is just writing down the goal, because that 80% means that 80% are good odds, right? 80% more likely to achieve my goals just by writing them down. So every day I write down my goals. So that's why I start. Next, after I write down my goals, I look at my stats, I look at what's happening in the club, I look at what's happened, and then the number one thing I do next is a to-do list. So I put 4 items in there, and the 4 items, 2 of them are creative, and 2 of them are business. So the creative ones can be like record a podcast, make a social media post, and the 2 business are like update club numbers, send out email. So like, that's my to-do list. Really straightforward. Like, I'm not making this too hard. And then like the last one's always going to be like book 2 consults or book 3 consults. Right? So like, I'm constantly looking at like, what are my goals? What am I going to do? That's my first 30 minutes in the office. So can you see how, like, if you want to be successful at this, you can't just wing it. You can't just be like, I'm just showing up. Like, you want to be successful, there's actionable steps that you need to take to be successful on a regular, daily basis. And some of the actionable steps is doing the hard stuff. Now, like what I just described to you, my morning routine, my morning, whatever you want to call it, that's hard. And the hard part isn't writing down my goals. The hard part is staying consistent at that. The reason why, because it's easy for me to now show up to my office, like, with just enough time to get on my call and not write down my goals and just start my day without having a care in the world about what I'm trying to accomplish that day, or not even thinking about what I'm trying to accomplish that day. The arrogance that some people have in the fact that you think just by you having a goal and thinking about it is going to help you achieve it, and that's part of it, but that's not at all. You need to write down your goals. You need to put them down on pieces of on pen and paper, and you need to start thinking about them on a daily basis. And you're going to start achieving them. Okay? So now, if you're listening to this podcast, it means that you probably want to be you're either one of the top personal trainers, or you want to be one of the top personal trainers. That's good. What it's going to take to be the top personal trainer is you're going to need to do the hard stuff. Day in, day out, 365, no days off. You're going to need to have I want to say athletic attribute, but you're going to have to do this thing when you're an athlete and you're trying to win a championship. When you're trying to win a championship in sports, you're pushing hard. It's one goal, one focus, championship. So when you're pushing for a championship, that is it. That's everything. So it's not like, oh, well, no, it's okay if they don't win. That kind of talk doesn't happen, because it's not okay if you don't win, because that's your goal. You can't be okay with not achieving goals. So you have to be not upset, but you got to take it personal. You got to do everything you can to achieve what you want. But it starts by doing the hard things. So my call to action to you for today is whatever is the hardest thing that you need to do it. And if you need to do it again the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and the next day. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to build a habit of doing the hard things. And if you build a habit of doing the hard things, that's how you build success. One day at a time. Focus on completing tasks and being successful. So if you found something useful out of this podcast, make sure you share it with a friend. Send it to a fellow PT who needs help in their business and just wants to start crushing it. Or re-record this, re-watch this again if you ever need to, because to get yourself motivated to do the hard things. Because I'm telling you right now, that is the gap between good trainer and subpar trainer. I've seen, and I'll tell you guys a story that I'll end it off. I've seen tons of trainers come in, and I've seen a lot of trainers who start off really like, okay, I'm gonna do the hard things, I'm gonna talk to people on the floor, and then they get tired. And why they got tired is because it's a hard job. Like, you're giving so much, and a lot of times as coaches, you're in a job that's giving, but you don't know how to receive. You don't know where you're receiving from. So you're pouring out of a cup, you're pouring out of a jar that you're not filling back up. So what I look at it is that I'm constantly in self-development, because if I'm not in self-development, I can't pour out. And I noticed this about myself, that the moment that I'm not doing my self-development, I'm not listening to podcasts in my car or reading books or anything, the moment that my business gets dry, the moment that what I'm talking to trainers about gets dry, and the moment that everything gets dry. And so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta work on this. So I'm constant self-development, because I'm constantly pouring out to new members, constantly pouring out to trainers, constantly pouring out to everybody else possible. So like that's you, coach. Constantly pouring out. As soon as you talk to them, coach, guess what happens? They want to know something about you don't know it. Well, get to know it. Like this is a job that should be your passion. So if you're passionate about fitness, you don't have to be putting a gun through your head to learn new fitness stuff. Work on your squat, work on your deadlift, work on your physique. Like no one should be putting a gun to your head to doing that. It's just doing that because you're so passionate about fitness. And your passion about fitness should lead you to be able to do this job. When trainers get into the job, they get in not realizing. Well, not realizing, I should say that. They get in, okay, passionate about fitness, but like I wasn't really gonna be like I wasn't really into the sales. That's just service. Get over it. Just get over it. And I say get over it because you can call it whatever you want, whether you're working for yourself, you're working for a big company, or whatever, you're still selling. So like if you're like, I don't want to sell anything, it's like, well, you're not going to get anyone because sales is service. Service is sales. It's the same thing. And once you understand that, then you stop the constant war that's going on inside of you. And then you just learn to communicate and you learn to do things properly. Anyways, that's it for today. I had that in my head and I really wanted to just talk to you guys about like focusing on doing the hard stuff. So I'm telling you right now, that is one of the biggest things that if you can now, if you can harness that superpower, you will crush it in anything you do in life. But if you choose not to, you will stay exactly where you are for the rest of your life. Peace.